Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and today is the day that I tell you why I think Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I really don't care because I'm sticking with what I think, and that's it. So, let me get started about telling you a little bit why I think Bird's the greatest of all time. The first thing is he was a great leader. Like, all you say, oh, Jordan's the greatest leader of all time because he took his team to 6 rings. But how come his first 7 years he didn't win a ring? Like I know LeBron didn't either, but I realize, first of all, I don't think rings matters. But when you talk about like that being a great leader, Jordan never did it. So how come you consider him the greatest? So there you go. Another thing about the winning part of it like that is Bird's won his ring his second year in the league. His first year he was rookie of the year, and he brought the Celtics to a 32 game turnaround, which is like crazy as a rookie. So, I mean, they say Jordan's a better leader, but he never really showed it in his first seasons in the league. Um, Another thing is that they say Jordan is the greatest scorer, which, yeah, he probably is. He could score at will, but you gotta know that Larry Bird could score at will too. There was no one who could really guard him. Like, they had times Dominique Wilkins be guarding him, players like that be guarding him, and Bird was scoring no matter what. And he also wasn't athletic, and he was still able to do those crazy things. So, I mean, another thing is like with rings, the championship rings, they say, oh, Jordan's the greatest, he has 6 rings. But how about like Bill Russell? Bill Russell has 11 rings, but no one considers him to be the number one player ever. So, I mean, rings is I think it's BS, actually. Like, I know that's what they play for, but when you're comparing like like great players like this, I don't think that should be a criteria because it's all about the skill level, and that's what we're comparing. And because like Bird still had 3 rings, and what's wrong with that? Like three, it's not more than six, but it's still a lot. Another thing is that the thing why I think Jordan's not better is because he never really played against great competition. Yeah, like the league was he played like Utah Jazz, and that really was actually it. Like he didn't really play on a team that could compare to the Bulls at that time. Um, like I think like I know like oh they say oh the Bulls had the 72-10 season, oh they're the greatest team of all time. But like who do they verse? Like seriously, there was no really great like even the MVP runner ups in during Jordan's era weren't as good as Bird's. Like he had guys who were good great players, but they weren't a good team, so they couldn't beat the Bulls. Like if I like personally, I think that if the Bulls of '92, that team that they say is the greatest, would have versed the 85-86 Celtics or the '80s Lakers, I wouldn't say that the Bulls would win a championship at all. So really, I think Jordan would not have 6 rings if he played in Magic and Bird's era. Just because the Celtics and the Lakers were that good. Their teams were like so good, and they dominated their league. Like every year, it's either the Lakers or the Celtics winning, and the Bulls I don't think would be in that category. So like the same thing is that they say Jordan. Yeah, he was like a great defender, but when you compare players, you got to put the whole package together. So yeah, Jordan's a great scorer and defender, but you got to put everything else together. Like, yeah, he passed the ball. He had 5 assists a game, but like, how come Bird has more than him? He's a bigger player. He plays a different position, and he's getting more assists than you. Like, come on. And like Bird also was a great scorer. He averaged 25 points a game, and he shot 50% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, and 90% from the free throw line. And you're telling me that Jordan's a better scorer? Like Bird beats him in all those categories, except they're tied for field goal percentage. But like, it's still like they're similar. He's not. It's not like Jordan's beating him or anything. So, like people out there, they just like I think it's all the hype. Like, because Jordan was so dominant in his era. I think, and it's the most recent era besides the 2000s. That's why I think they consider him the greatest. And another thing is like there are a lot of kids out there who like you ask them who's the greatest player ever, and they say Jordan, but they never even seen him play. Like, yeah, I wasn't around during that time either, but I've seen so many like highlights and like I even bought like many full games of these players and watched them all, and I say that Bird's better, cause like I saw a game of Jordan, he scored 63 points, but he lost to Bird's team. So like, what kind of leader is that? Like Jordan really didn't have many assists that game. He just all he did was score. So, I mean, if you were really a leader, you would get assists, you'd rebound the ball, you'd do everything to make your team better. And I'm not saying Jordan never really did that, but I think Bird did it better. And if he does it better, he should be better. Um, what else? It's just like Bird was that just the clutch factor, man. Like Jordan, yeah, he hits a lot of game winners, stuff like that. He's clutch, but what about Bird, man? That guy, he would tell you before, like at the end of the game, let's say you need a 2-pointer, I mean a 3-pointer to win. He'd tell you, oh, I'm getting the ball, and I'm going to shoot it right in your face right now, and we're going to win. And then he would do it. So, like, how can you beat someone like that when they have that much confidence to know that they're going to get the ball and just destroy you? So, that's another reason why I think Bird's so good. Um, Another thing is like I said before, like how the Bulls would never have beaten the Celtics or anything like that. But look at the yeah, like look at the Celtics. They had 5 Hall of Famers in their starting lineup, and Bird was the best player on that team. So if Bird is the best player on a team of like 4 Hall of Famers besides that, then how is he not the greatest? Like Jordan, he needed Rodman and Pippen to really win. Because, like, yeah, Bird had those other players, but they were there before he was there, and they didn't do well. And then he brought him a 32-game turnaround. But Jordan was there for 7 years, and he didn't do anything. And then those two players come and get other players, and they start winning. So, I mean, come on. Like, it's not too, you're not really giving me much here by just telling me that, oh, he has 6 rings, and then he's better. Like, yeah, he was the most dominant player of his time, but Bird was the most dominant player of his time. So, I mean, personally, I really think you can't compare like any of these players because they all play in different eras. But for my sake, if you're gonna compare, I say Larry Bird's the greatest, hands down. And if you want me to do another video and give you more stuff on this, I will. Um, but this video is coming to an end, and I hope you liked it. And just leave your comments below, and I'll try to answer all of them if I can. Um, and maybe I'll do a 2K video showing you Bird versus Jordan, and because I mean, just like even Bird's like record against Jordan of all time is better. So he would have beaten him more times if they played longer against each other. So thanks guys and peace out and Bird's the best. Yay yay. My nigga.